Hello, good morning. It's Dr. Allison, and today I wanted to share with you something that I've been trying out, which is the carnivore diet. So you probably know, if you don't know by now, I have a couple autoimmune diseases, and the worst one is ulcerative colitis. So it's a gut condition where the immune system attacks the intestines. In my case, I actually have end-stage ulcerative colitis, so my entire gut is dead. And last year, when it came to a head and I ended up in the hospital, I was extremely sick. And of course, I tried a lot of different things, and when I put it out on Facebook, like, hey, I'm in the hospital, I'm gonna need some time before I can get back to you guys, I was automatically added to all of these ulcerative colitis groups, Crohn's groups, natural healing groups, and I even asked on my functional medicine groups, like, what do you recommend? What do you do? So the long story short is that I ended up needing a biologic. So I'm on Remicade medication to suppress my immune system, which saved my life, and I'm incredibly grateful for. So number one, like that's what's doing the main job. So when I got out of the hospital, and even before, so before I was eating pretty healthy, a wide variety of different foods. I was figuring out what foods were making me sick, which ones weren't. And then when I got out of the hospital, I couldn't eat. I couldn't stomach anything. I was just very sick. So I immediately went vegan, smoothies. That's pretty much all I ate. I had to be pre-digested, pre-ground up, very minimal fiber because that would upset the colitis. And I just never got better, honestly. So the medication would keep me at bay, and then I would start going downhill until my next dose. And even with all of my training as functional medicine physician, as studying nutrition, I thought vegan is the way to go. I have to be vegan. This is what cures the world. And I had a couple people message me, and some past patients, some old friends, and said, hey, I know this is weird, but I also have colitis and I tried the carnivore diet. And I thought, well, that's great for you. I'm really happy for you. Thank you for sharing. Also, why would you do that? And actually, a couple of years ago, when it started to become more mainstream, if you will, a couple of the bigger people were talking about it on social media. My husband told me about it, and I said, they're stupid. They're going to die of cancer in a year. I will bet you right now, they're all going to be sick, cancer, dead, something horrible is going to happen to them. You shouldn't be eating just carnivore type foods. So flash forward to January of this year, maybe really February, I was at the end of my rope, and I was looking at a couple options that I had for food because I was still deathly sick, always bloated, always in pain. I need pain medication to get through the day, and I don't want to have to do that. I'm not someone who just takes pain medication, so I would avoid taking it, but then I would spend all day in bed. So it's a long story, but I wrote down all of my options. All right, so stay vegan, give up and eat whatever I want, which would be like pizza and Oreos, and then I had a couple of other food programs, like a fasting program and another meal plan program. And then I put carnivore on the list. And I thought, well, that's weird, but you know what? I'm gonna learn about it. Let me at least learn about it. So I watched Dr. Paul Saladino's YouTube video because I looked around on our functional medicine groups. I was like, all right, what are people saying about this? Who are the people to look at? And I watched his video, and the whole time, I actually had to stop it because I was like, this is gold, but I had to leave. I'm going to save this for tomorrow. I'm going to make my husband watch this with me. The whole time I'm sitting here, I'm like smacking him. I'm like, oh my God, Jake. Oh my God, Jake. Oh my God, Jake. This explains so much. And what it was is, in functional medicine training, there's a lot of talk about turmeric and how turmeric will cure the world, especially if you have autoimmune disease. And I believe that research, I still do, but I believe that is helpful for some people and not helpful for others. So for me, I was doing high doses of turmeric because it helped with my pain. It helped manage my symptoms, but I would feel good for like an hour and then I would crash back down. And so what I learned is about the oxalates that harm our body that are found in turmeric and plant foods and spinach and blueberries, and how those oxalates look like needles in our body. So of course I'm struggling with whole body pain, but really bad gut pain. and I'm eating all these foods that literally have needles that are getting stuck in my body. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, of course this makes sense of why I'm in so much pain. And our autoimmune diseases are not a turmeric deficiency either. So I'm not going to share too much more about that. I would highly recommend going and watching Dr. Paul Saladino's video. I'll put it in the comments below here for you guys. I read his book, The Carnivore Code. It explains the research and everything. It was amazing. It changed everything about the way I eat. And so I decided, all right, we're going to go 100%. And that's what we ended up doing. And on day 4, my bloating was completely gone. My pain in my gut was completely gone. My energy was better. My scalp psoriasis that was like lining my scalp was gone. I lost 15, I want to say like 10 pounds, somewhere between 10 and 15 pounds in the first 2 weeks, which is water weight and inflammation, of course. And then I gained about 5 back. So I'm at the body weight that my body loves, which is awesome because I'm stronger, I'm healthier, I feel better. I lost like 2 inches off of my hips. I lost an inch off of my waist because the bloating and the pain and the inflammation is gone. And I am just so much happier on this style of eating. So what is carnivore? I guess I should explain that first, but carnivore is eating only meat and meat products. Now, I don't eat dairy because dairy is mainly toxic and it's very upsetting for me. So I don't eat milk or yogurt or cheese or anything like that. So it's basically wake up, I have bacon and eggs for breakfast, maybe leftover dinner. For lunch, I might have a hamburger or a steak or a brisket or something like that. For snacks, I usually make extra bacon and have that throughout the day. Sometimes I have pork rinds or something like that. So it's the most simplest diet I've ever been able to do. I don't have to measure anything. I don't have to track anything. I don't have to worry, like, what are we eating for dinner tonight? It's meat. It's just really radically changed my life. So what I found though is that I still have a very severe sugar addiction. So when my husband ordered all of our Girl Scout cookies, which was amazing and wonderful, it kind of set off a little train of like, oh my gosh, I have to have sugar every day now. So I'm still battling my sugar addiction. I am not a purist. I still drink my coffee. I have my coffee right now. I drink decaf. I don't put anything in it. We still have pizza. Pizza is something that helps my gut. I can't explain it. I'm just grateful for it because of my digestive issues. It does help. So this is something that I will continue to do. I am so surprised and grateful that I was able to learn about this and understand it and apply it, because if I had just kept doing what I always did, I would still be sick. I would still be probably laying in bed crying today, and that I don't want to live like that anymore. So I've had a few patients that I've offered this diet to, and I laugh and I'm like, this will be the strangest thing I've ever said to you, but I would really like you to stop eating your vegetables. They're making you really sick. And I would say most of them, maybe 75% of my patients have said, okay, I'm willing to try that. And the ones who have done it and done it successfully have found the same things I have, that their bloating is gone, their pain is gone, their autoimmune attacks are lowering. And it's just wonderful. It's life-changing. The ones who didn't, who are still eating whatever they want, obviously aren't seeing those changes. So you have to decide what you're going to do and then go for it and do it. And don't look back. Give yourself at least a week, of course, maybe more, a month on a different style of eating so your body can change and heal. I'll have people do diets for 1 or 2 days and then they're like, no, I'm not doing this. I didn't see a difference. It takes time. The other thing that I do notice is that there will be like oxalate dumping. So oxalates do get stored in your body, especially if you're someone like me who is all greens and all vegan and all vegetables. So if I like flare up, it's because those oxalates are getting dumped out again. Or if I do what I did like on Sunday. I said, we're having an experience with the family. We're going in the melting pot. And I had salad and cheese and bread, all of those. I had a food hangover the next day. I woke up and I was like, I feel like I drank a whole keg of beer. I didn't. What's wrong with me? And I realized it's because of all the food and the chemicals that I was eating and the products of those foods. So it's just interesting. So you learn, you live and you learn as you go through this program. I will say that I'm in a ton of carnivore groups. I see a lot of people who don't see progress with this diet for a few reasons. One, it's not about failing, it's about your health. Like, people are very concerned about their weight. For me, I'm doing this because I'm trying to heal my gut and make a difference there. So don't worry as much about your weight and your size. Look at what else is going on. What is your skin doing? How is your hair? How is your gut? How are your joints? How are your hormones doing? It's going to change a lot. I see a lot of people who think carnivore means just going to McDonald's and getting patties and eating McDonald's patties, and that is probably the most disgusting thing I've seen carnivore people do. It's not healthy. It's not real food. It's not real meat. Please don't do that. Please don't think fast food is healthy because you took a bun off of it. It's still chemical based. It's still nasty. It's still full of fillers. I do not recommend that at all. So don't do that. I see people who do, it's called OMAD. It's really popular, 1 meal a day. And there's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of people who do that and works really well for. But like I always say, health is about blood sugar balance, and most people need to eat consistently throughout the day. So watch how often you're eating, especially if you have fatigue, adrenal fatigue, autoimmune conditions. When you're not feeling well, you're probably starving yourself. And this is not even a conversation about calories, because you're going to get a lot of calories. It's about how's your body using them. Are you using them effectively? Are you getting enough? And 1 meal a day probably isn't healthy for most people, especially if you have a chronic autoimmune illness like myself and adrenal fatigue and thyroid, and like we need so much more. So look for that support through food. A lot of people do carnivore and they do it dirty. I would say I do it dirty, meaning like I'm having coffee and I'm having some treats and I'm not 100% perfect. So you see faster progress when you're 100%. And of course, if you have no gallbladder or gallstones or any type of digestive issue or pancreas issue, you want to have digestive enzymes. I do take ox bile as my digestive enzymes as well because I don't have a gallbladder. So as I'm eating a ton more protein and fat, I need a lot more digestive support. If you're not eating, one thing I am adamant about with my patients is that if you're not eating the organs, meaning you're not cooking up liver and kidney and all of that other good stuff, you need to be taking supplementation. So carnivore is a snout to tail diet, which I don't want to cook kidney or liver. I'm not going to eat it, so I take the supplements. So I'll put a link to the supplements that I take and that you can order if that's something you want to add in, because of the nutrition that is in the organs, which is why carnivore is so effective for long-term issues, that we're getting all of the vitamins we need. I always have to supplement my vegetarians and my vegans because they're not getting enough of everything that they need. So this is a lot. I'm actually really scared to put this out there because it does seem so wild and dramatic, but you know what isn't wild is feeling better and having that change in my body, in my health, and knowing that I don't have to suffer and struggle with the issues that I did before. So this is all about healing and finding what's working for you, educating yourself, and really diving in and learning about the research and these different types of ways of eating. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm here to help you guys. And I always offer a free health assessment. So if you need help about testing or blood work or what diet is right for you, this is the time to set up a free call with me. You can either message me or schedule online. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.